Today I am on my way to pick up Mark again, and we are headed out to the IPMS Salt Lake City contest. It's like, I don't know, number 18, SLC XVIII, I believe that's what they call it. Anyway, it's our local IPMS contest, and we have this every other year, and it's that time of year again, end of September. We are going to be selling a bunch of our old models that we had that have just been kind of laying around gathering dust, and I'm also going to sell some for my friend Chris Allred. So we'll see how that goes. I get to be a judge at this year's contest. Woohoo! Sounds like a lot of fun. And I am actually entering 3 pieces of armor in the contest to see how they do. It's not really to compete, because I gave up competition building years ago, but to just kind of put them out there and hopefully inspire some people. So let's see how this thing goes today at the Gail Miller Center out in Sandy. The IPMS number 18 SLC. Check it out.
It all starts the night before when we have our banquet, and that's just a fancy word for we get together at Golden Corral and all have some dinner and kind of meet and greet each other. And then we have an auction afterwards, and here we've got some visitors from up in Boise. Brian Geiger, who used to be a member of our group, who moved to Boise. Chris Allred, my good friend. There's Dick Engar there. Rob Humphreys and Pat Gilmore all came to this, which was really awesome. But we also had some of the guys from Albuquerque who showed up, which was a neat thing to have them come all the way from Albuquerque. I made out really well on the auction, about $35, and won about 10 kits, so I did pretty well. The next day, Saturday morning, we start bright and early at 8 a.m. setting up at the Expo Center, and here's kind of the agenda for what's going to be going on that day. First of all, you get in there and you register and you pay your money, and then you head over to the vendors area. And my friend Pat Gilmore, he had his table there. You can see all the real cool stuff he has. Rob Humphreys was selling a few things with one of the other gentlemen, and Rob had a bunch of stuff that he'd gotten out of a collection that he had for sale. And then there was our table, the one that I had with Mark, and here Mark is selling his things, and my stuff's over on the far side of the table. We did pretty good that day. George McNaughty and his part of the table, and Brandon from the Northern group with a bunch of his stuff. You can see George has had a pretty good amount of stuff there. And Brandon, he had some pretty good things as well. And well, it was always good to see Phil Peterson. Loved having him come to the group and participate. This is one of the car guys who had some stuff out there, and what's significant about his table is that this was the space 2 years ago where we had set up our table, and here is Mike Mertlick, who was at the table with us 2 years ago. Unfortunately, 5 days after we were at this event 2 years ago, Mike passed away in his sleep, and we miss him a whole bunch. Rest in peace, Shul. And here is the table for the raffle, where we had a bunch of things to be raffled off. So now we go to the contest room, and this is kind of an overview of the whole contest room. This was shortly after opening, so you can see there's already a lot of modelers there, a lot of things on the table. And this year I decided to participate. So in the armor category, I went ahead and entered 3 items. These variations of the T-29 tank. Now, I don't build for competition anymore. I just build to show. But I thought it'd be fun to put these on the table. And of course, it was in a category that, well, you can see there was a bunch of things in this category, so I knew I wasn't going to do well. So first, we'll start out with aircraft, and there was this wonderful display of a 48 scale B-52 and a 72nd scale right below it. And then you see the little 144 scale MiG coming up to meet him. That was pretty neat. This Neptune, I believe it was 32nd scale. Man, this thing was great. And of course, the good old Devastator. Absolutely love this build. It was great. This KC-135 our model that took first place in its category, and of course it was very, very well done, very well executed. And this was a P-51 strafing a train, and I thought that was a very neat idea to do. This Helldiver in 32nd scale took first place in its category, and it was amazing. And Gabby's plane, gotta love that. Over to the armor, the category that I was in, here is a Sherman that was wow. You can see there was a lot of really good things in the tank category. The secretary for our group, Marty, brought this really neat diorama that had a British Firefly in it and some U.S. airborne troops. I thought he did a great job. But one of my favorites was these 35th scale Marines raising the flag on Iwo Jima. I would love to try and replicate this someday. It was really neat in my opinion. Just a few of the figures that I thought were very well done. Off we go to the ship category, and this one 350th Indianapolis that had won first place. There was a lot of work into that thing. Some of these other 700 scale ships were done into little task groups. Again, I thought they were very well executed. My only problem with them was during the war, they should have had camouflage decks, not wood decks. So the guy put a lot of great work into it, just not accurate. This Arizona that my friend Justin Davenport did, I thought that was very well done. I think he definitely nailed it with the colors. And again, another one of these little task groups. Just really love those. There was a 700 scale ship here that took first place, and all it had was photo etched railings, so kind of inspired me to enter in the 700 scale class next time. One of the categories that I got to judge this year, I got to be a head judge for about 6 different categories, and one of them was collections. And there was this really nice British bomber collection, as well as Marine Corps Medal of Honor aircraft collection, and this Jeep collection from World War II. And man, they were all really, really good. Next, we moved over to the miscellaneous category, and there was this zombie apocalypse vehicle that was really neat. There was also a rather large Nautilus that was that was really cool to see. Some great work here in this category. Take a little break and look at the cars for just a minute. Some of these cars and the car dioramas were amazing. This one here, where he's dreaming of what his car can be, I thought that was very clever. Just some really, really neat stuff. This abandoned car in the desert. And, this vehicle that I thought was pretty good, kind of an apocalypse type thing. Of course, everybody likes roadsters and rods. This old stagecoach that they'd done an amazing job on detailing the engine. But this '68 Charger, the paint job was just fabulous. Wish I could get something that good. Again, some of the other pieces that they had. But out in the parking lot, as I'm taking some things out there, there's a '68 AMX, a legitimate AMX that somebody's driving to the model show. This was so cool to see. Actually talk to the owner. So let's get back to judging, and now we've got some Star Wars pieces that we're going to be judging. Well, from Star Wars on to actual spacecraft, and there was only 4 things in this category. This Saturn V was awesome. And then we moved over to spacecraft and fantasy that was not Star Wars, and you can see in this category, again, some fabulous work. Very well executed pieces. This one, however, right here, the paint job I thought was fabulous. Done a great job on the execution of that. This piece, however, took first place in the category. The decals were great, the paint job was off the hook, and the assembly was perfect. Great looking piece. This was a hard category to judge, I gotta tell you. But we thought that was hard. Next thing you know, we're moving off to Gundam. These things melted our brain. They were so amazing. It was so hard to find anything wrong with any of these pieces. This particular one here took third place. This paint job was superb. And the battle damage on this one that took second, wow. But first place went to this particular piece here that just had everything. It was amazing. But some of these other pieces, you can see they had done a great job as well. My hat's off to the guys who built the Gundam. They were great. And last but not least, my friend Justin Bickham built this diorama here with this fire-breathing dragon and lit it up. It was pretty neat. So again, what a great show. We had a wonderful time, and it was a lot of fun to see a bunch of old friends and get together with everybody again and sell some models. So hope you enjoyed this, and well, we'll see you in 2 years at the next one.